Cheese for everyone!
All right. I mean, I was AFK until about half a second ago, Zarniclus. But I return. We shall continue with the sleuthing, and also the strange mood and the vampires and the. There's at least one other vampire in the fort right now. At least. How you been, Zarniclus? Long time. What's up, dude? But yeah, things are a mess today. There's just vampires everywhere. We cranked up the population cap, and we're up to 112, so. Jimmy Tibby, speaking of people I haven't seen in a minute. What up, dude? How's things? Long hours, need a nap, typical stuff. Yep. I got you. Well, cheers. Welcome back. It's been a while. I hope that the long hours are equaling big paychecks. A little bit of PTSD on you. That's unfortunate. Playing Songs of Six? Awesome. Are you enjoying the game? I think I might be at the point with that game where I'm waiting on a new patch now. I think I've kind of seen everything that there is. I could, of course, just keep making my city bigger, but I've got like 70 hours. I blinked, and now suddenly I have 70 hours in that game, so. So we'll definitely do more of that. Although that game having the double overwhelmingly positive reviews is definitely helping it. It is true, the city must grow. Oh wow. So things have been good then, Zarniclus. Well, that's good to hear. Also, in regards to your internet, Pink, I hope that it improves. It may be unacceptable, but unfortunately it is inevitable. I'll save that for tomorrow, because we're going to be doing Zomboid tomorrow. I mean, you don't have to save it. I have hiccups, apparently. Yeah. I hope that your internet improves, though. Is this like a normal thing for your internet? I'm also trying to make a better hospital with a well underneath it, but like... you have proved that this is a difficult task. Alright, well... oh, don't have enough mechanisms. Alright, well... well, let's make them out of lead, actually. Lead is a good material for mechanisms. Heavy and only needs to be placed once. Also, a dwarf has given birth to a boy. Would you look at that? That's lovely to see. A dwarf and her baby sleeping on the pile of corpses. Seems normal. Continuing to... we're about to interrogate stone. Time to make a pickaxe. Yeah. Also, in regards to that pickaxe dwarf, did that dwarf make a pickaxe out of their own child? That's something I've been wondering for a bit, since that story was told. That would be even worse / better, you don't know? Let's see what schemes the stone has been working on. Doubtful many, I would assume. And before it's just like, is the mastermind behind this whole thing and is a vampire and a bunch of other crud. Giant, oh shit! A beastie came back. A beastie of the forgotten variety. Yeah, you. Giant hummingbird. Giant hummingbird is, in fact, not dead. I thought we'd killed it, but we killed the other one. All right, well, that answers that question of where is the hummingbird at. Anyway, Stone, who currently has a fever. Apparently, met with the subject and attempted to build rapport in order to elicit information, and the subject was a natural loner and refused to listen. In retrospect, the interrogator may have completely misjudged the subject's character. How close is that to reality? Because to me, based on the way you talk in chat, doesn't strike me as too far from the truth. Be mean, but anyway, if that wasn't enough, the Forgotten Beast, Wara Olvisfeis has come. A gigantic humanoid composed of grime and filth. It has a broad shell and it squirms and fidgets. Beware its deadly spittle. So it's a vomit monster made of vomit that also vomits. Well, it's good to know that we're being attacked by American politicians now. We'll just let it do its thing. It doesn't have access to the fort currently. Let's befriend the beast. God, I wish we could do that. All right. Still collecting stuff. Well, that's a good sign. We're now constructing lead mechanisms. If I've made a lead mechanism, I can do this. If I haven't, then I can't. Don't have any yet. Engage in cordial diplomatic vomiting. Sounds like a rough Monday. Although diplomatic vomit, I'm pretty sure, is probably a technical term for something. Oh no, we're fishing! This is a scandal. In all seriousness, though. Don't feel anything after seeing Nil's dead body. Saigon the Bard, eh? It's not Saigon the Bard, though, and I know that for a fact. It can't be. Alright, I think that all of my interviews are done. Question is did I interview the vampire about this yet? I just accused the wrong person of the crime. Well, I mean, worse things have happened. So I thought I was in a different menu, which is the main issue with this. And, oh, also Nox gets some time in prison for attempting to steal stuff. But at least the vampire's in prison for another 300-something days. We don't need to worry about him for a while. Nox, how do you feel about being in prison? You feel repentant after being confined. Well, that's good. Trying to train. It's not very efficient. It's just word vomiting? Naturally. Diplomatic vomiting is what Boris Johnson does. You know, I mean, diplomatic word vomiting is what most politicians do, to be totally fair. It's as diplomatic as you can be while also word vomiting. What, me accidentally committing the wrong person of the crime? Or accusing the wrong person of the crime? I mean, it's been about 6 months since the last murder, so, like, I could see a justifiable reason as to why a dwarf would, like, do that. Or what, diplomatic vomiting is what Boris Johnson does? I mean, political humor's funny. Or can be funny, like anything. Also, chat room, I just want to say a real quick thank you to those of you that are hanging out today. Stream's been really slow as of late. Been kind of tough, not gonna lie, but just thank you. Cool. Dwarf has begun a mysterious construction. It is a mason. What did you grab for it? Giant impala bone, vulture leather, linen cloth, giant impala leather, and giant impala bone, diorite, and diorite. I think that giant impala died all right. That was a bad pun. No, I'm not sorry. What's up, cutest? Welcome back. You have a good night. Also, don't beat up that poor mech. It did nothing wrong. It's a good little mech. That mech is friends, not punching bag. Hey, we made the vampire go insane. Well, that's good. So now we just have a crazy, insane vampire who lives here. Excellent. Oblivious to reality. The best kind of vampire. So, can't starve to death, but also I don't think can do anything of damage to us. Jack, can I get a round of beers? You're lurking in the stream right now. Just type in the word beer. Let's see how many beers we can get. Also, say goodnight to Cutest. Cutest really wants good nights. Also, Sodell now gets 560 extra days in prison. Excellent. The drain seems to be almost finished draining, at least for the upper area. So, I'm going to go into here. I'm going to go back to the corpses screen. Set them all to be dumped. I got 2 levers to pull. I gotta pull this one, trap lock, to unlock the trap, and I gotta pull this one to unlock the front door. Which will open up this right here. Which will actually help the last of it drain out quicker. And my dwarves will have access to all of those lovely, lovely corpses in there that are now set to be dumped. And whoosh, right? Whoosh, anytime? No? There it goes. Front door is now open. Meaning dwarves can now dump corpses from in there. Look at them all. There they all go. Welcome to the PTSD chamber. Cole the Miner has created Babin Tekut. Babin Tekut. A Diorite Throne. And claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor, Tekud Diamond Grip. Where do they put the corpses? Underneath a drawbridge and where we smash them. It's worth 13,200 Zathal. The friendly pick. is the name of it. This is a Diorite Throne. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with round granite cabochons and decorated with giant impala bone and vulture bone. This object, and encircled with bands of giant impala bone and giant impala leather. This object menaces with spikes of giant impala bone. On the item is an image of joined flash, the teakwood bed, in diorite. On the item is an image of dwarves in linen. The dwarves are traveling. The artwork relates to the foundation of hot beards by the sweltering sand of the Crimson Pulley in the early spring of 155. On the item is an image of 2 baguette-cut gems in leather, vulture leather. I think I'm going to place this in my mayor's room. Or my mayor's office. Who really wants a fancy glass window here, but I literally can't do that, so... Feels gratitude remembering being elected. It's interesting. Oopsies, that's the wrong button. Stream's already started, guys, don't worry. We don't need to start soon, because we've already started. We've been started for a while, in fact. Alright, yeah, but they either place the bodies here or here. But it's gonna be the second one. Made non-discoveries? Define non-discovery. Something you already knew? What exactly is a non-discovery? Time needle? What's a time needle? Literally never heard the term time needle before. Kind of curious if my vampire has any thoughts in regards to that. I'm gonna pray. That's fair. Sad after being separated from loved ones. Well, I mean, Tomas the planter has been missing for a week. Uh-huh. 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 Uh-uh. Uh-oh. Oh, your stylist, gotcha. Except it plays your time instead of playing music? What do you mean by your time? That's such an ominous thing to say. It's like, your time. It plays your time. The bedroom. I'm looking for a dead dwarf. There is a dwarf missing. Not currently seeing a dead dwarf. Now I need to Google what a time needle is. Time needle. Apparently it's a movie. It appears to be a movie. I'm also getting a lot of images of used needles. Needle time was created in the United Kingdom by musicians. Huh. Well, that's unrelated. Yeah, I have no idea what you're referring to. It seems to be 2 really bad movies. And a Wikipedia page that's not very helpful. Also, there's a sudden spike in people searching for Dwarf Fortress stuff on YouTube. Not really sure what that's related to. It's not super major, but it's noticeable. Alright, where the hell? I guess we'll just wait. I was thinking of the record player and the jump back to the stream starting, and I was like, oh, okay. I understand. I thought you had like some weird archaic clock that like told time by spinning a needle or something. I was really confused. You noticed that one of the auto dump thingies by having a minecart sit on a minecart stop will dump the contents. It'll instantly dump stuff into a direction. Yep. Yep, that is, yeah. That is definitely common knowledge, can confirm. Winter has arrived on the calendar. All right, we've got more interrogations going on now. Curious if we're even remotely correct with that. You'd like an in French imperial time clock? Yeah, I know very little about any of that. My dad's a big fan of that stuff. I know very little of it. Did you have anything to do? That doesn't seem like it. All right, well. Dumping item. I hope you're dumping a corpse and not your child. Yes, you are. We've got a lot of bodies that need to get dumped. Which is going to take a while. Although it seems like they have a quicker way if they go around the front, which is actually good. They don't have to do the full all the way up and around. But we do have a dwarf that's missing. Domas. So I have a dwarf who is missing currently. We do not know where this dwarf is. We just know that they're missing. Actually, I suddenly have a suspicion. Which will be funny as heck if it's true. It is not true. My suspicion was, what if he trapped himself in here and drowned himself, but didn't? Let's see, did that get hooked up? Didn't. Can hook you two together now. Still looking for that dead dwarf. There's another vampire in the fort. That's just kind of a fact. There is actually a really brutal way that you can figure out who a vampire is just force everybody in the entire fort into one room and wait until they start to get thirsty, because vampires don't get thirsty. That's one way to do it, but I don't really want to go about doing it that way. Silver She! Enjoy the lurks. Thank you very much for the 19th month. Welcome back. First notification of money in 2 hours. Cheers, mate. Jack, can I get a round of beers for that? Also, hope you're good. Uni is kicking your ass. I mean, it feels like very few people have been watching me as much. It's been a very slow week, and I'm not totally sure why, but I hope that uni has been good, even if it has been kicking your ass. Hope it's kicking your ass in the good sense, if that's possible. We're dealing with a whole bunch of vampires today. 10 hours a day, 100 minutes an hour, 100 seconds in a minute. That seems completely useless by modern day standards. Like, that's kind of my knee-jerk reaction to that, Frog. Is like, that just seemed... Also, that seems weirdly similar to, like, Swatch internet time. Although I can't even remember how internet time worked. I just know it worked in blocks. And time was... It was, like, just a super overcomplicated, weirdly worded clock, essentially. I didn't turn this thing on, did I? No, I didn't. I do need to finish this so I can refill stuff, though. Fuck it, let's just do it this way. Just waiting for them to smooth that. It's okay, I lost it years ago. Let me know if you find it for me, Frog. The beginning of time was January 1st, 1970. Man, imagine how much good music we would have missed if that was the case. Although, every now and again, I fall down the rabbit hole of reading about quantum clocks. And quantum time, and all that fun shenanigans. You know, also, actually, let's do this. Let's remove any pressure from this. Because diagonals remove pressure. Still not convinced that isn't a bug, but... There we go. We've got somebody constructing a building, which is you. Animal wants to practice some martial art. You know what, Animal, you'll be able to practice some martial art next time. For now, I need you to run all the way down here and build this for us. I have one of those, pink. They're easy to care for. Don't need a lot of light, don't need a lot of water. All right, we're gonna wait for you to walk past this doorway and then I'm gonna lock it. Pull this lever. That I don't know. I've only had mine for a couple of months, or I've had mine since like August. But yeah, it does get, it has gotten bigger. I haven't put it in a bigger pot or anything, so haven't given it that much of a chance, but. Oh, it's not going to pump that quickly, but It's still pumping up there, so it's just the overflow. Which is fine. It'll fill up eventually. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Just pull this lever, which will seal that off. And it'll just keep pumping. And then once this is full, then I can fill up the well by just pulling this lever. Hey, Space Pirate. What's up? We've had to do a lot of sleuthing today. There's a honey badger in my water supply. There's also quite a lot of vampires causing problems in my fort. But there's also a honey badger in my water supply. Completely unrelated. The honey badger or the vampires? Because, like, they're both pretty exciting, to be honest. Will the honey badger survive? Highly doubtful? I'm not sure how he got in there. But it's okay. Horrible critters. Nothing of value will be lost. No, we're not drinking that water supply. That's my drowning baddies supply, which means they get to get drowned with, a little bit of honey badger essence as a bonus. What a place to sleep. So currently there is a dwarf that's missing. No idea what happened to them. Like, none. So maybe we'll find him, maybe we won't. I know there's got to at least be one other vampire in the fort. Maybe more. Anyway, what have you been up to today, Space Pirate? We're just, like I said, sleuthing and trying to figure out who done it. The other thing I'm going to do, actually, which I'm going to queue up in a few seconds here, is we're going to make another line of bedrooms. I'm trying to decide the best way to do this, because I kind of want to try constructing bedrooms. So maybe we just do a bunch right, like a couple right here, because we've not quite uncapped the fortress population-wise, but we've added a lot more population. So we could just dig out there. That's one option. Or I could go down here. Or I could place another set of bedrooms along here. That's also an option. Or I could go down to here and we can make a set of bedrooms down here. This is also an option. We could go all the way down to... Ooh, you know what? Actually... Just because there's gems down here that we don't have, I think this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make a... Yeah, we're gonna do another line of bedrooms all the way along here. Maybe like starting up here. So like this. Then we can do the one below and the one above thing again if we need more. How do you go about finding the vampire? Using the interrogation mechanics and the captain of the guard mechanics, or spotting a dwarf that hasn't had alcohol in a really long time, or spotting a dwarf that is lying about their identity. The one that we caught was doing all of those things. They were lying about their identity, they hadn't drank in a long time, and we caught them because of somebody who was close to them who witnessed the crime eventually. But it took a little bit. We had to interrogate a few dwarves, and eventually we found the culprit. We also found somebody who was plotting to steal an artifact, which was just kind of a convenient extra at the end of it. Also, most of the dwarves in the fort have a fever, and the only logical reason that I can discern is the floating blobs in the caverns, which, thanks to the help from Twitch chat and the wiki, apparently they give off vapors that like to make dwarves get a fever and get dizzy. So literally every dwarf in my fort or maybe not everyone, but most of them have had a fever, which is kind of fun. So it's like we're kind of dealing with a spat of the flu currently. So yeah, we've kind of been playing Dwarf Fortress, but it's Clue or Among Us or The Thing or whatever you want to call it. The interrogation mechanics are also like a mechanic that I think some people just completely miss, because if you ignore crimes and all that and never appoint a captain of the guard, you'll never get any of those mechanics even served to you. They just won't even be available. So I think for that reason, a lot of people completely miss it. Because so frequently I'll have people be like, you get crimes in your report? I'm like, wait, you don't? They're like, no, we never get crimes. Just lots of tantrums and people getting murdered. It's like, oh, okay. Someone needs to, like, build a prison. Why would I do that? Well, I don't know. Think about it. But this dwarf here has assumed a fake identity, which is Sodel. They're the Trapper. They are a vampire and killed at least 2 people. And so they're getting another 500 plus days in prison. As for the other one, I don't know where the other one is. And someone just went missing. So I don't know. Where do we find him? But it's been a while. Although they don't necessarily have to what's the word I'm looking for? Feed super frequently. So there's that. Well, I mean, to give you an idea, if I hit this button, C, counterintelligence, all of the blank ones are dwarves that gave us no information. Nox is associated with an unidentified organization, probably an organization relating to that crab that stabbed his head in for, a season. And Dastot Page Manners and Nox both plotted to steal a artifact. And then this vampire, their actual name is Stinthad Homage Flag, and their alias, which they're currently going by, is Sodal. So this vampire's real name is Stinthad. Also unidentified is the person who caused the attempt to steal the artifact. However, I know who they were because of the way it was worded. Because there was a unknown entity who was identifying as a snatcher that came through the fort. And I remember a snatcher when I had my tavern open to guests, thinking, that's kind of funny, there's a snatcher. They may have also been a political figure, but that's hard to say. So, regardless, when we had the fort open to visitors, some people got associated with criminal life. The seedy underbelly of hot beards. Dark times. These are. Anyway, Dwarf Fortress. As I always say, it's a video game. Anyway, currently we're just kind of hoping, or I'm just kind of hoping that stuff will get sorted. Also, I don't know if you're here, Rory. Hollow Knight soundtrack just shipped. So that's cool. But it's shipping from Germany, so will probably still take a week or so. No idea. It's just, but it's been shipped. They printed the label 6 days ago, and it's been shipped now, meaning it's probably either getting put on a plane or being put on a boat. If it's being put on a boat, it'll arrive in 2 months. If it's being put on a plane, it'll be here pretty quick. Probably plane because it's a small package. Also, I saw a post on Reddit yesterday, which I thought was kind of funny, which was, don't be worried about your carbon footprint. And it was a screenshot of LA, of the US with flight patterns turned on for jets. But it was only private jets within 30 minutes of the end of the Super Bowl. Okay, so within 30 minutes of the end of the Super Bowl, 160 private jets flew out of LAX. So I just wanted to like reiterate, the world ending due to climate change ain't your fault. I think we can safely blame those twits with their private jets. I want to at least hope that 4 of them belong to Snoop Dogg. I mean, it makes sense because it's the Super Bowl, right? I mean, a lot of wealthy people go to the Super Bowl, and I'm sure a couple of them at the very least bring private jets. It's just very, very funny that there's that many. A lot of flappy fly machines? Yeah, absolutely. A lot of them. Hey, it looks like these goblins are getting close to being dunzos. Time to claim all that clothing. It's even been washed, too. It's great. This is actually like, yeah, it's like a monstrous murder machine, but it's also very good at washing clothes. Anyway, so thought that was interesting. I'm not saying we should outlaw private jets, but like, what if we did? Slaughter that stray cow and the stray bull. Still not sure where this alleged eagle or dingo are. They're on the map. They claim to exist, but they're not on either of these screens. Hold up. Maybe they are. And dingo. Oh. Well, I found the giant dingo. I guess that must have been like a trader that got washed over the edge. Anyway, whoopsies. Dangerous fort, okay? Dangerous fort. Wait, angry at which part? Frogfire? I mean, like, the concept of private jets just kind of make me roll my eyes, but there's a difference between, like, knowing that they exist and acknowledging that they exist, and then seeing a picture of the number of them. That's the part that surprised me, is I didn't realize there was, I guess, just that many. But once I saw the picture, it's also like, yeah, actually, that makes a lot of sense, because it is the Super Bowl, but still. one of the biggest sporting events in the ever. Like, I mean, of course. It's like when I saw Iron Maiden. And like they landed 15 minutes before their set started in their jet. 15 minutes. They landed 15 minutes before their set started. There was a live stream of them landing, which is kind of wild. You hauling. Plenty of weapons. Good stuff. So I'm just going to jump over to this screen and go to pointy objects. Huh? Well, I don't need to worry about shields anymore. Look at all those copper shields. Good shit. All right. Melt you, melt you. Keep the battle axes. Melt you, melt you, melt you, melt you. Melt all of you. Basically melt everything from my maces. Keep all of the picks. Melt that, melt that. All of the stuff I can't use, obviously. And melt. Set that to infinite. Get to it. Start melting. You see the heads and faces of the lines below you, and you are... Yeah, that's fair. Frog. Your new embark is next to a bloody, hugely steep mountain. Is it actually covered in blood, or was that just for emphasis? Yeah, drowning trap definitely doubles as washing machine. Very efficient washing machine, even. Also could probably use it to train dwarves to swim, but maybe not wise. No, seriously, help! Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. Yeah, pretty much. This is just going to be a weapons stockpile. Oh, apparently I don't actually have anybody to do that job. Well then. There we go. Besmar, the farmer, has been found completely drained of blood. Meanwhile, there is a ranger tanning a hide right here, who I think is the one that saw it. All right. Let another round of interrogations begin. Well, it looks like the cook is implicated in the murder, but we're going to, of course, interrogate them. Didn't I, like, highlight that dwarf and be like, you seem odd? Oh, no. Didn't feel anything after seeing Besmir Gearedstep die. Well, that's easy. Wouldn't it be grand to just take my life and do nothing for the rest of my days? My life off and do nothing for the rest of the days? Well, see there. I got bad news for you, Ming. You took your job as cook a little bit too seriously, and we're gonna have to, remove your forehead. I mean, remove your right to breathe. Oh no, another vampire. Whatever shall we do? Your homeless dwarves are already happy chatting to each other, making friends. Yeah, they make friends real quick. They really do. I wish it was that easy in real life. Speaking of, Rhinestone, I like you doing other things, but I'm actually going to need you to just, like, go interrogate people because there's vampires everywhere. Jeez. You bet that's the one? Well, I mean, he did see the guy die, so if he's not the one, then, like, Neo must be. All right. Let's not be so hasty, Dwarf. Apparently Alice Cooper is coming to Vancouver. I don't know if I need to see a fossil perform. All right. Speaking of fossils, so is ZZ Top. That's just kind of sad. All right. Okay, Captain of the Guard. I know that this might not seem super concerning to you. I'm just gonna go through and remove. Actually, you know what? Orders. Gather. Animals, gather bodies. All dwarves harvest, that's what I want. Only farmers harvest. That'll help. Yeet. Another chill day in the blind corner. Hobo. We're interrogating people because apparently this entire world is infested with vampires. So we are Oh, it's very easy. I think I did that actually. I think I accused the first vampire of killing somebody the second vampire killed. But nobody seems to mind so far because like he was at the very least guilty of the first crime. But it's extremely easy. Like literally just a misclick will do it. Once it's done, and there's no way to back out. So it's just, but it'll piss all the dwarves off who like the law because they will acknowledge that it is a what's the word? Incorrect accusation. But how's things with Hobo? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, they get mad. They're just like, a dwarf was accused of a crime that they are not guilty of. Rah, this is an outrage and all that. We're going to store this item in the barrel, or non-barrel in this instance. then you should just go interrogate that dwarf. Instead, you're going to go drink first. I mean, I understand. You can't be a detective without also drinking a lot. Comes with the job description. It's that and smoking. Excited for the 500 this week? Yeah, I forgot that was happening. Cool. We got several dwarves melting metal objects now. Uh-oh, we got more crimes getting reported. Whole bunch of crimes, actually. More witnesses, maybe? Oh, wow, there was 6 witnesses? Okay, it's this guy. No question. Trench coat and fedora? Oh, fuck yeah. Six witnesses, yep. I still want to interrogate the dwarf first. Besides, this guy's doing all the crap. Hey, a Mark's dwarf is visiting. Very discreet. I mean, he did it in the kitchen, dude. Also, I think I know where we're going to put the vampires. I'm trying to make them turn slightly faster, man. We need the wheels of justice to get a speeding ticket right about now. Like, having a separate numpad would be cool, and you're just getting annoyed that it moves about. No, I have super glued it to the side. Oh, did you have, like, a stubby short keyboard that, like, wasn't full length, and then you got a separate numpad that plugs in USB, and now you're just like, it's moving everywhere. You've super glued it to the side of your keyboard. Very funny to me. KD8 has given birth to a girl. How many witnesses are we up to now? Well, just 6. The whole thing of the weekend, we're going to spend the weekend at Blue Springs. I think the race is on Sunday, and then you have a buyer's convention on Tuesday, Wednesday in Orlando, and then you're going to Epcot on Monday. Sounds like a busy week. One of my Mace Lords made a baby. I walked up the pointy hill on Monday. There was nobody on the mountain. Although we scouted some good spots for potential camping sites next year. Okay, now he's going to go interrogate the alleged vampire. That we definitely know is a vampire. Uh-oh. Somebody got interrupted by a giant skink. That's not good. Around the pointy hill? Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. Curious about how Animal feels about being in the military. Seems to be pretty happy about it. Oi! Stop right there, criminal! How dare you be carrying a fish? No fishing. Fishing is illegal. Anyway, going back to more important things. On the pointy hill? Currently? I don't know. Monday it was very nice until suddenly the visibility went down to 0. Because, see those clouds? Yeah, they were rising. Which was great until, well, we were in the middle of a fluffy cloud. Then the only thing that really changed was the Fire Nation attacked. But after that, we got some of the prettiest, like, sun through mist ever shots. Like, we also got this shot that I haven't posted on Discord anywhere, which my friend sent me. Which was... Because I didn't take this photo, but he did. This was, like, sun setting. Also, about 5 minutes before this photo was taken, we had no visibility. Not even, like, zero. We had none. There was... like... Standing here, I wasn't able to see this tree a couple minutes earlier. So we just, like, kind of stood there and waited until, like, and we were getting our lights out, but then it started to clear a bit so we could actually see again. But yeah, this tree, from where, if you were standing here, we weren't able to see it. And then the sun started peeking through and we're like, oh my god, we're in a fucking magical place. What is happening? It was fun. Anyway, hopefully nobody's died while I was looking away, because there was a combat notifier. What's going on? All right, interrogation report. Met with the subject and attempted to make intimidating remarks in order to elicit information. Subject was cagey and refused to comply. Well, I mean, we do have, like, 6 witnesses, so we know you did it. We're going to interview you again. And, arrest you for the crime. Hey, Merc. What up? We've had a lot of vampires today. Currently, there are 2 known vampires in the fort. Possibly 3. We're also making more bedrooms. A smooth middle side, so it probably will come apart nicely. The super glue was sitting right next to you, though. It was just too tempting to not, just, like, go nuts with. One of the vampires is currently chained up in my tavern. What's the plan for the buggers? I don't know. I mean, one of them's in prison still. Which is this one. He's still got another 510 days, so we don't need to think about him for a little bit. It depends on what this other one gets. 225 days. Although this one's only killed 1. I think I accused that first one of a crime this one committed. So I'm trying to interrogate him to just confirm that. But I don't know. We get to figure that out. Kind of thinking about just, like, putting them in a lava room and just going gurgle, 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 gurgle. But I may also, like, suspend them on a platform on the middle of the river and just let them live there. Maybe let the goblins use them as target practice or something, or lock them outside of the fort during the next invasion. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about putting them actually in the drain, because they can't drown. So wouldn't it be kind of amazing to just kind of chain them up or lock them in between 2 fortifications in the drain, and then just every so often we just, like, give them a big whoosh. It's like, here, you get a shower and your skin blasted off with water pressure. All right, this one's a smart one, but you should let's go chain them up. All right, so what was the name of the dwarf? So Sodel. You're Onel the cook. Who is this guy? Seems to be pretty thrilled about being in prison. I was near his seat, and it pleases me. Oh, now you're in prison. You weren't actually in prison. Humiliated! But also lock them at the base of the waterfall with similar methods. I mean, that would be easy, actually. Wait, I wonder. Hold up. Let me check something. Can assign imprisoned dwarves? I don't think I can assign imprisoned dwarves to a pasture. I had to check. I could throw the giant off of that. And their food would be just out of reach. Yeah. I'm not sure. Well, we'll have to figure something out. The problem is like, I don't know exactly how to just lock them in there. Maybe put them both in their own squad and then... Yeah, I don't know. Unfortunately, there's no mechanics of, like, moving prisoners once they're in prison. Just once they're in prison, and they just live there. So I don't know. I do not know. Can't give you that glass throne. Can't do it. Or a glass window in your throne room. Feed them to the goblins. I mean, it would be the exact same process. I'd have to put them in a squad, separate them from the fort. But in order to do that, they still get free will for a time, which is enough time for them to eat people. That's the problem. It's very difficult to get vampires into places separate from the rest of the fort without killing people. To put it simply, it's very difficult to do that. So it's the same process, trapping them, locking them somewhere. It's all going to be the same process regardless of what I end up doing. Could also move this from being a tavern and move the tavern to a different spot, maybe even like a layer up. You know what? Let's do that. Let's actually do that. Let's do this. I got an idea. I'm doing upstairs and an upstairs. Right? We're gonna move the tavern. Put the tavern up here. I'm forming a plan. But you know what I love, chat? I love it when a plan comes together. All right, so we're gonna do this. This is gonna be the new tavern. We're gonna have these nice it's gonna have potentially windows in the future, but for right now, it's just going to go all the way up to the wall there. Make her a little bigger. Everybody loves a good tavern renovation, you know? Everybody's favorite thing. Give him a minute. And they can feed on the survivors? No, they'll just swim out. If I throw them into this waterfall, they will literally just swim out. Kind of what I'm tempted to try and do is to lock them in here. Maybe put a fortification right there. Lock them in here. Put a fortification right there. And so they just get drowned occasionally. Feel bad laughing at that. But that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, that's the current plan. Is just set them up so that they drown occasionally. Oh geez. Whoopsies. So I dug out this little room here. For the express purpose of, I could just like put some weapons in here and use them to be melted. But I appear to have just, like, collided with an Adamantium spire. Anyway, I don't know if I have any crafts dwarves, but looks like we can make some adamantine, I guess? I accidentally mined some adamantine. Whoops. Might as well mine out the rest of it. People are still reporting fucking crimes? They just not buried the body yet? Those are beds, not coffins, game. Right. Streamer. Person. It bothers me that burial receptacle is right next to bed on the keyboard. It's N or B. Placing these all behind my camera. They're right there. What's the danger of mining adamantium? It's like the only spoiler people give a shit about. Yeah. You may accidentally anger the elder demons and open a portal to hell. Accidentally, yeah. This is a bed with a lid. A bit more than that. Sounds safe enough. I mean, actually, it's not that dangerous. If you know what you're doing. I just didn't realize I mined it out, so. Accidentally designating a thing to be mined out is kind of whoops. So you've got 500 days left. You've got 215. Excellent. That's... Thought I just saw a dwarf drowning in there. I was like, what? I need this filled up with water now. Meaning somebody can come over here and pull this lever. Where's the damn dwarf? Pull the fucking lever, Tholtag. Yeah, slowpoke. So what I'm gonna do is when those vampires get out of prison, we're just gonna go lock them in there. Where we're gonna do this. So this is going to be my well. Which is going to be in my new hospital. Saying hi to the rest of the household. I think it's funny that you say hi to me before you say hi to the rest of the people in your house. But go do that. New hospital. Okay, that's fair. It's just kind of funny though, the way you worded that. Hey, Darren. I mean, it's kind of like Nick Sumia popping into my chat and then saying, I gotta go say hi to my husband, BRB. It's just like, wait, you say hi to me before you say hi to your husband? That's the kind of stuff's been happening in this channel for a while, so it's just kind of funny when it does. All right. We're also gonna put a door there. Want a door there? You have to go to your little cave first. Oh, I'm sure that there's details that I'm not even realizing, but... This dwarf is guilty, and then this one is humiliated. Oh no, the humiliation! Oh, interesting. This dwarf went to prison in the year 152. Anyway, that's going to be the hospital now, which means I can remove this tiny ass zone from here. Okay, so how are we doing on metals? 30 copper. So much useless lead. Anyway. Just jamming. All right, let's wait till that's done and then get all this smoothing. This up here doesn't need to be smoothed. Man, these vampires must be super frustrated because there's a dwarf just like passed out on the floor over here, specifically the mayor. And they're just like mad. They're like, you're sleeping and I can drink your blood right from here. Oh, this is kind of neat. So this is, I guess, a reason to have dwarves imprisoned in your tavern. This dwarf is performing. What are you performing? It's telling a story of how the dwarf Godin ring-wiped became the outpost liaison of the Crimson Pulley. They literally talk and tell stories. Open bar, literally. Open prison, open bar, open life, you know? So we're going to put a fortification right there. Also going to put a fortification right there. So the literal second those two dwarves are released from prison, I'm going to tell them to go and stand in here. And when that happens, going to lock it. And they get to just live in there forever. Speaking of living places, I can pull this lever. Because this is full. And I can make a well. Two wells, even. I just need that lever to be pulled first. Otherwise, we're going to have a very damp prison in a few seconds. Imagine being able to go to a tavern or a bar, chat, that just has convicted felons hanging out in spots, and you could just, like, chat with them. I feel like that would definitely be somebody's, like, dream destination to go hang out. It's like, it's the bar that's filled with convicted felons. Also, probably would be a pretty problematic spot. Although, that's actually just most strip clubs. right, so it's a very lead-based well. It's fine. Removes infection. Oh, it absolutely could be. I found this YouTube channel ages ago. I never subscribed to it, and then fell down a small YouTube rabbit hole for a bit of YouTube channels run by, and obviously owned by, people who did large amounts of time, and it's just like them talking about their experiences in prison and like what life is like post prison and all that. I don't know. I found it was a very fascinating selection of vlogging channels I found in a pretty quick period of time. Ooh. Cooler sent me a thing. What do you think, chat? Panel to go beneath the stream to replace the old theme. What do you think? This is just the one of several that he's working. Pretty good. How's the well doing? Oh, we're just finishing him up. I've also got a plan of what to do with the vampires. We're going to put them in the drainage hold so they occasionally get very big, sudden, unexpected showers. The problem is if I leave the fort and come back, they will just be in the fort. So. Knowing that you get 3 mugs is definitely helpful. That's my favorite piece of advice that makes no sense to anybody. It's just like, did you know that if you tell a dwarf to make a cup or a mug, they actually make 3, not 1? Why? But if it's an artifact, it's only 1. Now you do. Add that to the list of silly things that you didn't need that you knew you didn't know that you needed to know, but now do. Jail time and not death? Dwarves don't believe in a death sentence. Ironically, I've actually had dwarves do longer amounts of jail time, unless the king mandates it. Only the king can tell dwarves that they need a death sentence. The funny thing is I've had dwarves have to do longer prison sentences for accidentally selling an item than I have for murder on many occasions. It's like murder, 30 days in prison. Failed to make an item that the king wanted, 800 days in prison. So I've dwarven legal system can just be the equivalent of here. I can just only type it in. There you go. Just exclamation point, quote, bunch of question marks. Repeat. Nope. There is no poop fluid mechanics. The dwarves do have waste and filth, which is cleaned up by dwarves, but they just kind of go where they happen to be standing at the time. It's not something the player needs to manage. Although Tarn has Tarn has talked about the possibility of adding in like waste management to the game, but he feels that toilets and such would be a bit too tedious, and also if it was a flowing fluid, we would use it in moats and cannons and whatnot, and he doesn't really want us making poop cannons, which I can kind of relate to. However, he is stated pretty publicly that he's thinking about adding in some format of manure, but it's not on the list of high priorities, so doubt it'll ever make it into the game. Like cow manure type deal to like help fertilize fields and such. Not making an item is an offense to a very powerful dwarf who made the order, and it makes sense in a brutally tyrannical way. It does. It does, yes. It does make sense in a brutally tyrannical way. Dwarf manure, that's... No, cow manure. Or horse manure. Or horse apples, as they call it in some circles. I was very disturbed when I learned that cow shit's... or that horse shit's called horse apples. When I was a child. I found that very distressing. And you know what? I still kind of do find that distressing. But then they'd also have to add in gas simulation, which we have, just none of them are flammable. But I would recommend listening to the old DF talks if you want to hear Tarn talk about such things. Because explosions... Gunpowder specifically is something Tarn doesn't want to do because Tarn doesn't like guns, which is something that I go yeehaw about. But explosions are still like a pretty strict maybe, question mark? But well, we'll see. Road apples? No. My neighbor who owned 15 horses called them horse apples. Go pick horse apples off the ground. So don't you tell me what my neighbor who owns way too many horses called them. Also, my aunt who owns a handful of horses, I don't know how many horses she actively has currently, but she does own horses, also calls them horse apples. So I have 2 horse owners that are local to here that call them that. Yeah, but Dwarf Fortress isn't most games. Oh, hey, it's first of spring and a duck died of old age. Rest in peace, duck. Literally just saw a duck die. Well, it's just like another thing people confuse dwarves with is people assume that dwarves are completely underground dwelling creatures. And that anything that isn't underground isn't dwarfy. That's actually, like, very wrong for Dwarf Fortress. If you go to the generated cities or any of the smaller settlements for dwarves in this game, they're much more akin to, like, hobbit holes. They're, like, mounds on the ground, above ground, and they live inside of those dugout mounds, versus, like, what a lot of people's mental image of what dwarves are from other fantasy, specifically D&D, is much more akin to the way gnomes are represented in Dwarf Fortress. Although most people don't even realize that gnomes are in Dwarf Fortress because they're so fucking hard to find, but they just live in the deep depths and occasionally pop out to steal your alcohol in adventure mode or try and murder you horribly. You currently have nothing to do? I mean, I can still, like, relate to that person's mental thought. Pink, don't you want to retire tomorrow? Wouldn't it be great to retire tomorrow, even if you aren't currently doing any work? Putting the duck in a tomb. Also, yes, F's for the duck. For you, retiring would look like being able to focus on writing your own chords. How does that fictional theory? Yeah, but, like, that could be counted as nothing. I don't know. Also, I have a dwarf who's stuck here. You fucking genius. Bonk. All right, there we go. Bridge is flattened. Popping her back up. Who's stuck in there? Rhinestone. All right. Why did the captain of the guard wall themselves into a prison? Are you trying to admit to a crime here? Kind of sus. But it's fine. He feels guilty about something. Feels guilty about his sense of direction, which is terrible. Which was the way in? Definitely behind me, so I guess I'll just place this wall here and I just walled myself into a corner. Well, shit. I guess I will sit here and wait for orders then. Waiting instructions. All right, we're gonna put fortification right there. Okay, I can still do this. Also, chat, Diamond Destruct really deserves a gift sub if anybody's feeling generous. Especially considering, you know, they're running a freaking domain dedicated to a meme from Long Death. Also, Gremlin from Air. One day, we'll make it happen. I swear. I mean, true, we've been making him do so many interrogations. He's like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Done with this crap. Vinsati's going to go. Lock stuff. Also, gifting a sub is guaranteed to get you number 2 on the leaderboard for gift subs. Gotta shout that out. What are you doing? All right. Lake Bear, thank you very much for gifting a sub to Diamond Destruct. Diamond, enjoy the ad-free viewing. One more drink. What? I mean, you could still go to bed, man. It's fine. There you go. Just got a bunch of boulders to move. But thanks, Lake Bear. Cheers, man. There we go. That's what we needed. All right, now let's place another one right there. Holy crap. Belliner, you had a busy day. I can't tell what anybody's doing today because Twitch now has been down since this morning because Twitch is breaking their APIs. Can I do this now? Nope, still API error. Belliner, thank you very much for that massive raid. Jeez. That is a big raid. But hey Jack, what's up? Things. If you guys don't know Belliner, I'm gonna shout him out the old-fashioned way. Bell is part of my stream team. He's a fantastic Finnish lad, and he rolls his R's a lot. You may hear him on a podcast near you pretty soon. Available at alcineFrequency.com. But how was Hoammer? To anybody coming over from Belliner's stream. This is Dwarf Fortress. I'm currently plotting a way to torture some vampires for all eternity, and also make them have mandatory, impromptu, unplanned, unwanted showers. Very suddenly. Rather frequently, in fact. But I can only do that once all of the proper settings are set. We have these two vampires, and they... Oh, hey, an elephant caravan. And they both live in my tavern, currently chained up. Which is great. They're just like singing songs and telling stories. But not the issue. The caveat with that is once they're released, they're just released into the fort. So we're setting it up so that when we release them, instead of just being released into the fort, they will be locked in the drain for our surprise shower for the goblins. So could be very efficient. But hope the stream was good, Bill. Anyway, what were we on about? Sure, I was talking about something. It's completely slipped my mind now. It was fun. How was the whammer? I know you started it like way earlier than me today. Other than every human on the planet trying to kill you? That's just like a normal day in Finland, though, isn't it? I've heard like, starting fistfights. My one of my vampires is trying to have a tantrum, and it's clearly not working. I like how this dwarf's just like delighted after watching a performance. You're in prison and chained up in the corner of the tavern. Life sucks. Ogres are really fun to play. Gotcha. I watched that hour-long Mandalore Gaming review of that game. Actually, no. Let's just put a door here, because this will make this a lot easier. Put a door right there. Just like real life, everything is big and stompy and knocks humans around. Well, thank you very much for the raid. That goes a long way. Like I said, it's been a slow week. We've had a weird thing happen. Anything that's got the little X flashing on them has a fever. And there are creatures in the basement that are giving all of my dwarves a fever. So I'm not saying I'm role-playing reality, but it is certainly annoying. It's not the intended outcome here. Let's forbid that door. There we go. So now it's sealed up and it's ready for the vampires. We just need to wait another 166 days for you to be released and another 448 for you. So I don't know if they're even going to get much of that stuff. All right, let's peek behind this Adamantium that I accidentally mined out and see what's on the other side. It should be fine. It'd be fine. Realistically, I could probably just... Oh, I see. It's all I'm like, I can't see any on this layer. It's entirely encased in this. That looks like the hell. This one's probably safe. Probably safe. Currently melting down a lot of stuff that we got from bads. We're slowly gaining iron and other useful metals. Quite a bit of copper, actually. Make 30 copper helms. Get my armorers up and running. Get them doing things. Let's take you off of this useless fishing crap and give you strand extraction. And go be useful for a bit. Oh no! A cat got bit by a fire snake. Well, that's horrible. Or kitty. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Project Zomboid tomorrow. That's gonna be fun. Looking forward to going back for a bit more of that. What? Rotten cow meat. Get rid of that. Speaking of things to get rid of, we also need to clear out this little thing back there. All right, let's get this tavern up and running. Let's just make some stuff. We're also going to get some of those new bedrooms signed up, set up, and ready to rumble. Although I can't actually do that yet because they're not done smoothing it. Wait for them to finish smoothing it first. Still demanding stuff I can't give you. Oh, also, need to trade. Because there's elves here that would like to trade. Whoops. Well, what can I sell them? Let's sell them arrows. Not the wheelbarrows. And nothing made of wood, obviously. Moving all that. Because we keep getting all these frickin' arrows shot at me. They're gonna dump all of that. Really curious about how far they have to go for some of these arrows. But we'll bring up the trader. Because we should trade with them. I just have to be careful about what I sell them. I wonder if you sell the elves enough wooden or metal arrows if they will eventually start to fire them at you. I wonder. I do wonder. I wonder. I feel like I haven't seen these in a minute. Chat, investments are open, heads up. Figured I'd check. Copper. It's all silver and copper. Not very valuable, though. They brought us a leopard, a water buffalo bull, and that seems to be kind of it. Let's buy the sand pears. Try and buy some more stuff from them, but we'll be careful. Oh, hey, Bim the Butcher. Bim the Butcher has been taken by a Fey Mood. Best luck, Wes. I'm gonna wait until this dwarf claims a workshop, and I'm gonna take the opportunity to go use the toilet. B. Where are you headed? Oh, I'm very disappointed. Runs all the way down to the basement, grabs the craft store shop. All right, I will be back in a sec. Just gonna quickly go use the restroom. And this dwarf wants bones, I think. I will tell them to slaughter the pangolin and the giant barn owl. Back in a moment. Alrighty, Dwarfy, what do you want? Bones. Well, we need that much. Rock blocks. Okay, we got that. More bones. More rock blocks. More bones. All right, yeah, you just need bones. Sweet. Or slaughtering giant barn owl. I'll just follow you. Well, congrats to all the winners there. I actually won one for once. That's like a rare sight for me. But, chat, I got a question. What you guys been playing recently? Or is everybody here just sitting there around twiddling their thumbs and going, all right, when's that Whammer coming out? Which is just my official name for Warhammer now, is Whammer. I don't know if that's unique to me at all, but it's funny, so I roll with it. D&D Online? Gotcha. I'm playing being an adult? That sounds really boring. Not gonna lie. Gets old quick? Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I get to play everybody's favorite game next week. You know what everybody's favorite game is, chat? Spoilers, wave depletion just placed in the chat. Taxes. Yeah. Everybody's favorite game. I get to play that game next week. I'm going to play some Jupiter Hell when the next patch drops, which is next month. All right, so Dwarfy grabs Diorite and Barn Owl Bone. No way in hell that's going to be an interesting artifact. Like, not possible. Also, why the crying face next to Minecraft, Apocalypse? What's wrong with Minecraft? Oh, Trader went to sleep. God dang it. You've been working on a castle for 5 hours or so and you keep restarting? As in, like, the game keeps crashing and you keep having to, like, start from the beginning? Or you keep, like, getting tired of your work and making something new? Oh, yeah. DF, you got to start over a lot. Totally normal part of DF. Why do I keep catching these poor fucking... chameleon people? Hold on. I'm gonna try something. Pen pasture. Ah, there we go. Chameleon woman. Let's do that. Because they seem to be super chill, so it's just like, well, just release them. Like an angry god. I think you might be confusing Minecraft with Teardown. I know they look similar, Apocalypse, but are you sure you're playing the right game? Your current mood might fit better with Teardown, not gonna lie. Hey, Kettle. Your dwarf's around, by the way. Where is you? Where? There you are. One of my hammer lords. Or one of my hammered lords, whatever you prefer. You're a weird dwarf. You don't feel happiness or satisfied about almost anything except for, like, mastering skills. It's the only thing you feel happiness about. You don't feel happiness about anything else. That's it. You're just a very cranky dwarf. But you're a very good hammer wielder. I mean, you got 5 kills. Killed 4 trolls and a goblin. Sure? Okay. Just checking. Just checking. You played Destroy All Humans? You know, that's a game that I've never played. Destroy All Humans. I've only ever seen it being played, and it's like hard for me to believe that that game is real. I don't know why. We are releasing chameleon people again. What did you look at that? Bim Lelum Mulotar, the butcher, has created Most Ilbestid, a giant barn owl crown. Now, it's made out of giant barn owl bone. The crown itself is not giant, just to be clear. She claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor, Zasset Ape Syrup. I don't want to know what ape syrup is, but let's take a peek. It's worth almost nothing. It's called Orange Clashes. And this is a giant barn owl bone crown. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. This object menaces with spikes of diorite. On the item is an image of dwarves in giant barn owl bone. The dwarves are laboring. The artwork relates to the foundation of hot beards by the sweltering sand of the Crimson Pulley in the early spring of 155. What a boring artifact. Might even just sell that one. You heard the man. Anyway, the second they are assigned to here and in here, we can move them. You're not putting him back into the... Come on, we're supposed to release him. Apparently we also have a sparrow man in a cage. Might just be melted monkey fat. Significantly less concerning. But still, vomiting face intensifies indeed. Oh, hey, look, it's a pink fluffy llama. You're annoyed when caught in the rain. Yeah, that checks out. Got into an argument a couple times. Still kind of angry. What was your job previously? Stoneworker? Accomplished mason, even? You crafted a masterwork previously. Oh, hey, you have some kills. You killed a goblin. Cool. Bring any friends with you? Looks like Max. Still tells stories of Tail Grand Master. Who's your older sister, hasn't shown up yet. Your older half-sister came with. You're on friendly terms with Ocean Bug. Interesting. Also, Roel showed up. Made it. And I'm like, that's a weird name for a dwarf that's a rabbit, not a dwarf. And a lie maker. I'd prefer a truth maker, but we'll take lies if that's what we get. How's some of your dwarf in their squad? Think you're still alive? Yes. You are currently, you don't feel anything after putting on a well-crafted item. Let's see. You have an ostrich leather hood, a copper helm, copper chain leggings, a silver warhammer, a copper shield, really shitty mittens, copper mail, pigtail shoes, and we're working on getting everybody shields. Yeah, that's you currently. Quite happy, I'll say that much. What else can we find out about you, Mark? It's been all right, Smill. Unfortunate news about your dwarf. Oh, Merc, you are a nervous wreck after, which is apparently a strengthening after seeing a human die. I'm not sure how being a nervous wreck makes you stronger, but I suppose. You also don't really feel happiness or anything about anything. You get kind of excited about training, though. You're basically just like a workout monkey at this point. Panic strength, baby, pretty much. Just get really startled and just be like, 40 minutes later, you're just like on the ground sobbing, and you're like, what happened? Why is everybody dead? You killed them, sir. Oh, no! But stream's been pretty good. Got a big raid from one of my teammates, which was very kind of him. And we are chilling with the dwarves. We've had a siege, which we won against, and a bunch of vampires today, so we've been doing a bunch of sleuthing. I'm convinced there's still another vampire in the fort, but they don't always, like, they're not always super active. So I think that there's a third one, but for sure we have two. So we have Vampire and Vampire, Onal and Sodel. And assuming they can still brain function by the time they're done their several hundred-year sentences, one of them's is in for like the equivalent of like 600 days and has 400 left. And then the other one is in prison for another 140 days. And assuming they both make it out with brains still functioning, then at that point we are going to consider what we're going to do with them. Also, I think we're going to move the prison. I do like that method, but having prisoners just kind of out in the open like that just makes me kind of eternally nervous. So I think we're going to maybe just move the prison over here, just for new prisoners. The old ones, not so much. But we'll just put chains every so often over here. Oh, also, update on the honey badger. The honey badger drowned. That's what the bee is. There's somehow that honey badger got stuck in my water reservoir, and I said that I would let you guys know what happened to the honey badger, and the honey badger has drowned. It's okay, flaming kitties. It's just a honey badger. They're evil incarnate anyway. I mean, it, like, went in there willingly, so it's on the honey badger, frankly. Also, flaming kitties, I've got a question, because I saw you follow a little bit ago. Is flaming kitties related or unrelated to exploding kittens? Because I saw your username pop up and I was like, huh, something exploding kittens. Not a very good board game. Fun theme though. Completely unrelated? Okay. I think about exploding kittens quite frequently because they have weirdly large booths at PAX. And back when I used to go to conventions when those happened, you are a very upset dwarf. Holy crap. You also want to practice the martial art. How do you feel about joining the military, Pink Fluffy Llama? The thing is, it's actually not that bad for you. It's your PSN for years before. All right. So, like, I can also relate to that because I've been on Twitch with this particular username since 2012, right? This username predates the IRL category for blind IRL. It also predates the Rocket League category and the existence of Rocket League. And at conventions for years, people would always ask me if I'm an IRL streamer. And then after asking me if I was an IRL streamer for years, once the IRL directory got changed to just chatting, people then started to ask me if I was a Rocket League streamer. Neither of which are true. Or even remotely accurate, for that matter. Let's just go around this way. But fortunately, I can say that I have outlived the major popularity of Rocket League, and also outlived the main popularity of and the entirety of the existence of the IRL directory on Twitch. Exploding Kittens is a terrible game. Their merchandise is okay, but like as a game to like play, it's one of those things that's like everybody just kind of gave them money and nobody realized that, hey guys, we should stop giving these people money. But they just kept doing it for some reason, so it just kind of is what it is, unfortunately. I mean, it's just like playing War, Exploding Kittens. If you've ever played War, you've played Exploding Kittens, and War is a really boring card game. Every church youth group in the world has a copy. I mean, you know, I haven't been to any church youth group things in a long time, but that doesn't even remotely surprise me. No, I don't have to. I really, really don't. Nuclear war card game forever ago? That seems pleasant. Well, since we're talking about shitty board games, can I just like throw out an unpopular opinion here, chat? I mean, I do that all the time anyway. But you know what's a shitty fucking garbage piece of crap board game a lot of people love? Cards Against Humanity. Holy shit, that thing is awful. No! One of my vampires has gone stark raving mad, which kind of sucks. But the benefit of having a stark raving mad vampire is he's not going to eat anybody, and he'll never die. So Sodel, the trapper, has gone insane due to being chained to the tavern for too long, which is hilarious because, like, the only thing that they're actually upset about is they feel guilty. Everything else, like, they're super ecstatic about just getting to be in a tavern and discuss problems with friends and like talk and perform and watch performances and sing and drink and all that shit. But very guilty. So you've gone completely insane. Gone completely insane. So now we just have a fortress mascot of an insane vampire. Excellent. Quiplash is like, see, here's the thing. I was able to get my parents to play Quiplash and various other Jackbox games during Christmas this year, which I'm extremely proud of my parents for being super brave and attempting to play video games, which was cool. So I'm quite fond of those games for that reason. But like Cards Against Humanity, fuck that. No. The thing is, I do like Apples to Apples. And Apples to Apples is exactly the same game as Cards Against Humanity. Except, like, in order to play Apples to Apples, you have to be, like, family-friendly, because it's a family-friendly game. So it's just, like, hard mode Cards Against Humanity, which is so much fun. It's very much an apples-to-apples comparison, Flaming Kitties. It's also bad in real life in regards to Monopoly being a bad game. And I do agree. Monopoly is a bad game, but I would rather play Monopoly than Cards Against Humanity. I wish that Cards Against Humanity was actually just like a fake website like The Onion that just did weird marketing schemes occasionally. Because that's like the only shit that they do that's actually entertaining is their marketing. And yes, their marketing is very entertaining. But I mean, here, I'll do it for you, Mark.
You suck.
$7 a month on Patreon for those. Some dwarves need to go outside. Some dwarves need to get a life. It's like if a seat is the most interesting thing you've seen all day, whole baby, you got problems. Eh. Did I, like, miss something? I'm, like, checking right now to make sure I didn't miss anything. Because they don't kick in. I have to manually do them, which means I miss something, potentially. But not that I'm seeing. Unless you have a different name on Patreon than you do on Twitch. Which is possible. Which happens. But then you gotta DM me. Found out the game was called Nuclear Escalation and the sequel to Nuclear War. The sequel to Nuclear War. There is no such thing. Sure, but you are subbed at tier 1, not at tier 2. They are a thing for tier 2 subs, but your sub reads tier 1 currently. Unless, like, you've set it to upgrade, which I don't even... Can you even do that? Because that will kick in next month, then. Also, good lord, do I wish that I could automate. Hold on, what just happened? Not that, but that too. Amateur player is apparently paying forward a gift that they got from the pilot guy and doing that 5-fold and gifting out 5 subs. Oh, you're continuing at tier 2. Well, then I can just give you that. Yeah, I had no idea of that, Merc. You can just have them now if you want. But also, amateur, thank you very much for chucking out a 5-pack. Cheers, dude. Yeah, can I get a big round of beers for that? At least one for each. To anybody who got gifted a sub, enjoy those stupid skulls. Courtesy of Amateur. Also, Amateur, you need to tell me what kind of dwarf you want. Because earlier today, you asked me for a dwarf. And it admittedly completely fell out of my brain. And I completely forgot. What kind of dwarf would you like? So that I can dwarf you up here. Also, type in this command, Merc. All right. If that command works, then if any of those work, then it works. Military. All right. Although it's kind of funny giving a military job to an amateur. Do you have preference? You can be a mace dwarf, a hammered dwarf. Do the wrestlers even have weapons? Might need to. Apparently, you're a skilled spear dwarf. Walt. Oh, spear dwarf. Interesting. Do you have any preference on weapon? Because I could give you various things. Hammer dwarf? Purple it is. Kind of lonely, but... Olbach. Amateur. I think I spelled that right. Within the last season, he felt lonely after being away from family for too long and feels frightened reliving being hunted by the dead. You got spooked by a ghost once, and it made you think about it a lot. You're 95 years old, born on the 17th of Opal in the year 70, which is like... That's like 38, 40 for a dwarf. Because like dwarves can live up to 170, right? Well, actually, maybe a bit past that. That's like... You're in like your mid-40s. You're doing all right. His very long sideburns are neatly combed. His long mustache is neatly combed. His very long beard is arranged in double braids, and his hair is, of course, clean-shaven. His somewhat short ears are very splayed out, and his narrow heliotrope eyes are very wide-set. His hair is black with some gray, and his skin is dark peach. He is amazingly agile, incredibly tough, and slow to tire, very strong, but really susceptible to disease. He likes rutile, which is good because we have that everywhere here. And he likes copper, diamond, and giant octopus leather. That's some creature I've never seen before. Octopuses as well. He personally believes that power over others is the ideal goal in life and worthy of the highest respect, and believes those who sacrifice for others should be deeply respected and doesn't care if others take the time to master skills. Is generally unhindered by the thoughts of others concerning his actions and is often finds himself changing his mind to agree with somebody else. He is prone to hatreds and often develops negative feelings, and he rarely looks on others with lust. He tends to share his own experiences and thoughts with others and tends to hang on to grievances. He likes to keep things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract, and he doesn't handle stress well, after seeing a chameleon woman's dead body in the year 158. He generally has a greedy streak, and he needs alcohol to get through the working day, although he doesn't really care about anything anymore. That you. Welcome to the fort. You are now a hammered dwarf. Who also is wielding a hammer, oddly enough. Time to give dwarves more bedrooms. This is definitely my favorite of the Simon Stewart Sound Sense tracks. So chill. You know what I kind of want to do? Just because I've made this habit now. I've been making mixtapes because I'm a, like, 90s kid who dreams of those days. Mostly cassettes and records and other things that, you know, aren't are considered hipster trash these days. But anyway, I've been recording mixtapes off of Spotify and various other things. I might like just download like the high quality SoundSense stuff and make some tapes and just like draw some labels. Migrants arrived? Did you like forget to like change your pop cap to what you want it to be while you're you know, doing the thing? I mean, I'd be weird if they didn't, if they arrived like not in DF. So we're making bedrooms. Container. Can buy cassettes still? I just bought 10 90-minute cassettes. Yeah, $20. Ironically, cassettes are still mass-produced widely for 2 reasons. Number one, they're extremely fucking cheap and very popular in places like Vietnam and the Philippines and large parts of Asia because they're so fucking cheap. And also, they're still used in a lot of police departments as a format for... No, I ran out of chests. They're often used in police departments as a source of data collection, and they are also used as in prisons around the world. They only were just removed from prisons in the U.S. Actually, they're still used in prisons in Canada and a lot of other countries around the world because they are a way that you can give people in prisons entertainment without also giving them, you know, freedom. I guess I'm like losing words, but like if you ever see clear cassettes, the reason they make them clear, which is the majority of like blank cassettes that you can buy, the reason they are clear is because of they're used. It's because they are used for or in prison or can be used in prisons. You just bought some bulk cassettes last year? Yeah, no, I mean, I bought some on Amazon 3 days ago. Bunch of 90-minute ones because I only have 60-minute ones. And my dad wants me to make some tapes for him, including the Dear Esther soundtrack, oddly enough, which I haven't gotten around to because I've just been really depressed and working too much. So I will hopefully get to that this week. Yeah, there's Techmoan did a really good video on this subject, actually. Curious about clear electronics in prisons. So if you ever buy like a really cheap stereo or like a really cheap like handheld radio, or if you ever see like really cheap little tape players on Amazon or Alibaba or anything, they exist purely to go into prisons. They have to be clear so that you can't smuggle anything inside of them. But at least in US and most Canadian prisons now, they get little MP3 players instead of little cassette players. Yep, these are dwarf rooms. These are bedrooms. If there's a particular icon that's confusing you, try and like point me at it, and I'll tell you what it is. Like bed, cabinet, and coffer. So not all of these dwarves are going to get furniture yet, but working on it. It came from a mental hospital. Still has the sticker on it? Oh, really? That's kind of neat. Also kind of sad, depending on what kind of mental hospital. But yeah, no, cassettes are actually a better format for data storage than CDs because they don't rot. And assuming they're kept in a dry place, they will last forever. whereas discs get disc rot. I mean, I also have a boombox, like, right there, which I still need to, like, fix the motor in so that I can hook it up to the stream and you guys can stare at a boombox at the start instead of the records. Because I do own it. I do have more than enough tapes that I could do that. Also, I get, like, a very happy feeling when I record music off of Spotify onto a cassette, because it's like, this is the piracy you weren't expecting. Getting them old school. Showing them who's boss. Also, fuck Spotify. Anyway, that's an insane vampire, that. You may have seen that Techmoan video. It was something that I was aware of before that Techmoan video, but Techmoan just pulled a Techmoan and did a really good job kind of just highlighting all of it and explaining it all. Like, there's lots of knowledge that I already know before I see YouTube videos, and then the YouTube video just does such a good job explaining it, I just kind of use that as my source from then forward. That's one of those examples. Hitting the wrong hockey combo. Well, looking to see what strengthened that thing meant with your dwarfs being a nervous wreck, you learned of the therapy squad stress management trick. It's such a good stress management trick for a dwarf fort. Just put them into a squad and let them do nothing, and then they will just go sort themselves out. It's actually super efficient. No. Also, me humming really messes with the text-to-speech. Or the captions, I guess. Just got an email from New Bloods, and I was very excited for a second. Then I realized, oh, they're just announcing new merchandise. New Bloods, they publish like retro style first-person shooters, a lot of those, and a few other things. Most notably, like Dusk and Ultra Kill, I think, are probably the two most well-known titles that they've published. But they're publishing. I think it's just called Gloomwood. I always confuse it with Gloomhaven. Gloomwood? Gloomwood. Gloomwood? Gloom. Yes, Gloomwood. This game. I received an email from them just now, and I'm like, oh my god, New Blood! What are they? Gloomwood? No. Nope. Turns out, still soon. Sad days. The what now? If you put dwarves into a squad, and give them no goal, Casey, they will just go take care of their most important needs right away. So if you have a dwarf that's like super stressed out for seemingly no reason, like if they need to, like, you know, go pray to a god or whatnot, They don't do that normally. They prioritize work. So I work a lot. When I'm sad, 90% of the time, I will just work instead of taking a day off. You know, just like normal people. Like, you're depressed and you're like, fuck my life, I hate it, but I need rent, so go on to the old warehouse or wherever you work. And that happens to me in this job too. Same with dwarves. If they're really depressed and sad and need to pray to their god, oh no, well, managers mandated that I go make 15,000 more blocks. Better get back on the assembly line. This is why you need to give dwarves time off. It's just a very easy way to force dwarves to take time off. Also, anyway, like I was saying, no, it's not no new game content. It's just this game doesn't have a release date yet. And I received an email from this publisher's PR company. And I always get excited whenever they send me an email because it's just a hope that maybe, but no. Also, if you haven't played the demo for this game, it's literally like somebody's making Steampunk Thief. Although Thief was pretty steampunk, but it's basically just somebody making Thief. Quite literally, it's a Thief game. But that demo is so good. Holy shit. So, very excited for this. That is indicative of late-stage capitalist dystopia where people should be able to take mental health day every now and again. Well, I mean, not even necessarily a late-stage dystopia. I mean, that's just been the way that we've operated for a very long time. See slave labor in ancient Egypt as an example. See factory workers in the States right now as an example. See Amazon workers in the States right now as an example. See train and rail workers in, like, I don't know, 55 to 100 years ago as an example. You know, mental health is only something that, like, we've really become cognizant of as a species and in the last, like, several decades, really. I mean, we are, as people, we used to, like, you know, give people electric shocks when they were depressed. Like, we've come a long way in our intelligence factor when it comes to, you know, brain problems. The new Thief game? Abso-fucking-lutely no, it wasn't. That reboot of Thief was awful. No, the Gloomwood is a Thief game in the traditional sense of Thief. Are you saying that you think it was good? Because I hated that game. Turn the music a bit loud. We still give people electric shocks. Yeah, they're just very, 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 very specific electric shocks. You know what I mean, though. Come on, give me some slack. I know you could do the, well, actually, we're still giving people electric shocks. We just are better at it. We're just significantly more efficient at it. How's that blocked? But that isn't. They can absolutely get up there. You are giving me a very hard time, sir. So I request a soft time instead of a hard time. Hold on a second. I'd swear I just saw a dwarf fly down that waterfall, but I definitely didn't. Like, I'd swear I saw a dwarf walk in this way, jump over here and then appear. But maybe I'm just going nuts. Rory, thank you very much for keeping that sub alive for a 35th month on a 35th month long streak. Thank you much. Cheers, man. Jack, can I get a round of beers for Rory being Rory for 35 times? A lot of beer. Cookie. That was my first guess, Casey. Are you sure that you're going to keep being Rory, even when we get to a time when you have to be no Mori? That was weird. Sometimes I say things, I'm like, that didn't even make any sense. What the fuck you on about, man? Gotta pour more coffee. Placing that down. You want a game where adventure mode is the focus, but the game's history is 99% the landmass of the landmass is proc gen with both realistic and unrealistic metals, fully functioning metallurgy system, and you can't figure out how to kill a werewolf by literally forging a sword with less and less silver. It's alloy, so it's ineffective. So you're saying you want a game that doesn't exist? I mean, I want plenty of games that don't exist. I mean, there are elements of what you just said in Ultima Ratio Regum. Ratio Regum? Ratio Regum? I don't even. There are elements of that in what you just said. I mean, there's lots of games that don't exist, but they should. Like a good Mech Warrior game. But it's like URR does parts of that, Caves of Cud does parts of that, CDDA does parts of that, but I can't think of anything that like does that. There's also this one other game that's like sort of like that and takes place purely on an island, which is a free roguelike that I'm like blanking on the name of now. It's like Times in something. Hold on. I remember seeing a thread about it on the roguelike subreddit because somebody was talking about it saying, literally nobody talks about this game! I think I linked it at one point. I have to see if I can find. No, not Wayward. Wayward is garbage. It's not garbage. I just really didn't like that game. It wasn't for me. It's fine. It's probably nothing like what you're actually looking for. Still scrolling up. Oh, I was just reminded that I need to check out Basilisk. I should scroll up in this area more often. Wonder how far I need to scroll up this Discord. I'm like a year back. I don't know if I'm gonna find it, but whatever. Go up a little further. I just got to me explaining to somebody that no, Loop Hero is not a roguelike, to give you an idea on how far in I am. Chief Treasure has arrived. That's interesting. Yeah, I give up. I missed it, but I don't know. I go through spats like that where I'm like, this game doesn't exist, but I wish it did. If I had $10 billion, maybe. Pink Fluffy. Going to be so much that needs to get put away. You absolutely could have a submersible fort. It would need to be suspended, but you could absolutely do that. Ivan? I've never played Ivan. I've had some people suggest I play Ivan. I've never done it. This is helpful, getting all this clothing out of here. Welcome to this dwarven fortress that is officially actually just a, like, used clothing store. Chat investments are open, heads up. Ivan is, you either win or you get shellacked. I mean, isn't that most roguelikes, though? You either win or... Asto says, on behalf of the Merchants Guild, let me extend me greetings to your people once again. Good to speak with you once again. What do I request of you? Metal. Metals, 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 anvils. Thank you. And let me bid farewell to you and your stout dwarves. Until next time, good human, tall person. Or be forced to try punching the first boss to death with nothing but your bare hands. All right, so it seems like a well-designed, well-thought-out planned video game. Oh no, we're being attacked by a honey badger again. God damn it. Oh, they killed that honey badger. Fucking honey badgers. Wow, wow, wow. Assuming you don't die to hedgehogs first? Well, I'm assuming you're still talking about Ivan, and I'll just say that I've fought a giant hedgehog in Dwarf Fortress once. All right. Well, we killed the honey badger. That's good news. It's time to request you come trade. That is a lot of dwarves. I'm so used to managing smaller forts, it's like kind of funny almost when I have bigger forts. Oh, hey, there's hungry heads fighting with forgotten beasts. A whole bunch of Hungry Heads, actually. A game that I need to play more of is Infra Arcana. I really liked the first bits, the little bits that I played of it. Problem was I didn't like that my VOD got muted for copyrighted content because the music is apparently owned by a company that's not them. And also, my YouTube videos got flagged. So that was fun. So I haven't streamed it since. Allegedly, they've, like, removed the problem music, but it's sketchy enough for me that it's like, I will not play that for a while. Because the game was neat. It was really neat. Had some neat ideas. I like games that are more based on running the fuck away. Wow. Good luck translating that voice to text. That's a lot of clothing. Been a couple of years. Fortunately, they haven't brought us much. They did bring us some iron anvils, though. And the noble screen is blank. The noble screen will always be blank. Because they unassign all roles. I've never seen all squads out traveling before. I've definitely, like, reclaimed forts and they are fucked. Or, like, I reclaimed a fort once. Like, the only reason I haven't done the retire and reclaim things in this fort is because I know there's vampires in it, and there's a forgotten beast in the basement I need to kill. But by next week, I want to retire this fort and run some adventurers here and then come back. Or, like, start another fort and then come back to this one. But there's a few more things I want to do, and one of those things I want to get it up to population capacity. So, oh, hey, there's some books. Book. Evaporation and Condensation Abridged Edition. Well, that's good. I wouldn't want the full version. It's too long. Or too wordy for me. Like, there's no positions available when you hit this button? That's odd. No, I haven't seen that. I've seen, like, they're all just left empty, but the nobles, they're just all vacant. To run an adventure around and then retire it in the fort, and it was all good and cool until that. I'd try unretiring and then reclaiming again. That's what I would do, is I would retire the fort again and then come back. And just see if that fixes it. Like the turning it on and off again approach. That or save and reload. Those are all things I would try. Also, I've got more chameleon people to release. Going to have to abandon it, probably. That's unfortunate. One time, when I reclaimed a fort, the dwarves had dug too deep while I was gone. Just came back and there was just, like, brutes everywhere, just, like, ripping everybody apart. I'm like, seems suboptimal for the long-term health of this fort. It was pretty funny. So anyway, Chad, has anyone here ever unretired a fort and there's like, and all the squads are out traveling and the noble screen is blank? Actually, I wonder if the mayor is in a squad. I wonder. Still seems less than ideal, though. It's a fancy lead cage. Let's just buy that barrel. Seems to be, yeah. I mean, you could also abandon it and then reclaim the ruin with 7 new dwarves. And assuming it's the same faction, odds are pretty good a bunch of dwarves will show up. Be a weird story, but you could try something like that. Just an idea. Yeah. My God. They are gathering so much clothing from like all over the place. I mean, what I would do actually is I would abandon it and then run a bunch of adventurers there and retire the adventurers there and then reclaim it. Because you'll have the adventurers then. That's what I would do. We'll have to do a day later this week or next week where we run some adventurers into this fort. That's got to happen soon. Just turn off all the squads for a little bit and let them... Uh-oh, I saw a ghost. Let them have a break from training. Yep, we do indeed have ghosts. Full moths. Kind of wish you could, like, interrogate a ghost. Wouldn't that be rad? If you had, like, a necromancer or a specific type of dwarf, if you could interrogate a ghost and be like, okay, how'd you die? Who attacked you? Yeah, I mean, you could just, like, reclaim the fortress and it's filled with 15 bear people. Or 30 goblins. I don't know. Bunch of bear people came from an elven faction riding unicorns. Weird, right? All with, like, maximum ambushing skill. Strange. Also some incredibly heavily armed and well-trained, elephant men. So do it, Casey. I've done it in this world already. Not that effectively, but I'm going to be doing it some more. Going to be running dwarves from up and in here somewhere. Hold on, what was that artifact called? The Ghoul of Murder is an artifact up here. Anyway, I'm going to be running them from up there and then down to here. Or like over here maybe. And then all the way over these mountains and up and into here. You can barely set up stable food. Well, get good, nerd. I don't know. I mean, it's an option. the getting good part. I mean, practice makes perfect, right? You'll get there eventually, I'm sure. Closed captions, you're drunk. There's so much clothing, holy shit. A lot of this is coming from down here too. You know, I kind of want to make just an empty tube here that just kind of goes like right over to here and just goes this way, just for draining this for like cleaning purposes. I really should really like clean that out. It is kind of full of bodies. Like an entire performance troupe died in there for some reason. Couldn't tell you why, but they did. Also, something I need to check. Looks like most of the dwarves have beds, which is good. Huh? Oh. And how come you're not listed as chained, Donal? For a second there, I thought they'd let one of my vampires out, and I was like, what the fuck? But now I just can't see him, so I don't actually know where he is. I'm sure he's still in prison, it's fine. Come on, dwarves. Bring your stuff quicker. The merchants will be leaving soon. There's too much shit. Don't have time to get rid of it all. Literally, there's just too much crap. The Goblin Knight is far too strong with this one. Welcome to Hotbeard's used clothing store, where we gurgle our baddies and don't tell you what we did with the bodies and then sell you their clothes. It's a little fucked up, if you think about it. 6th win in a row, Pink? That's pretty good odds. I'd take that bet. Except these humans can actually, like, use the stuff that I'm selling them. Forgotten Beast is fighting with a bunch of elk birds down in the basement. Oh no. Oh no, the cook is throwing a tantrum. How unfortunate. That's what you get for being a vampire. Alright, they're not trading anymore. And all of the dwarves immediately redirect, bringing everything to this stockpile. Kind of shocked nobody's cave adapted in this fort yet. I guess it's because we spend so much time running in and out through this, like, bridge. Interesting thought. This dwarf really likes performing. All right, chat. I think that's it for Hot Beards for today. Stream's not over, but we're done with dwarves. If you would like to watch more dwarfy things, there's a link to the YouTube channel where you can watch more Dwarf Fortress stuff than you could reasonably watch in a lifetime. And there's a link to the Patreon if you want to support dwarfy things directly. Also, stream's not over, like I said earlier. We're going to keep going. We're going to try and finish the Veil. I think we're in the final stretch. I think. We're just letting this save up. So if you're sticking around, you post a beer in the chat and just let me know. And if you're not, that's fine too. I totally get you. Unfortunately, there is nobody else streaming Dwarf Fortress right now, so you're kind of stuck watching my YouTube videos. Or, you know, you could go watch Krug Smash or something. But we are winding down for the day for dwarfs now. But like I said, if you're sticking around, if I could get around to beers, that'd be fantastic. We do need to set this up, though. So the game that we're trying to finish is called The Veil. It is a audio-based adventure, completely accessible for people with visual impairments or blindness. I play it with a controller, and I point a camera at my hand so you can see what I'm doing. The game consists